For this flower, I'm going to use a stem stitch with 3 strands. You make a stitch, and before you pull it the whole way through, leave a loop and then come back up in the center of that loop. Continue another stitch length to create a loop. Come up in the center of that loop and then pull it tight. This creates a series of twists going the whole way up the stem. It is important to make sure you always come up on the same side of the loop each time. Then for the leaves, I'm doing a flyleaf stitch. We'll start by making a stitch in the top of the leaf. And then you're going to come up at the highest points of the V and insert your needle down on the opposite side to create a loop. Then we're going to bring our needle up at the bottom of that first stitch. Pull it tight to create the V shape, and then we're going to secure it by going down in the next V. So up at the tops, create a loop, and then secure it in the stitch below. So it creates a series of V's or Y shapes that connect to each other, and then attach it to your stem. Now for the flower, I'm going to come up in the center, and I'm going to start this like a French knot. So I'm going to wrap my needle around my thread twice, but instead of going down where I came up, I'm going to go down at the end of the line. Now keep your thread very tight with your opposite hand to keep the tension tight the whole time while you create this knot, and only let go at the very end. I'm using 3 strands here for this in my darker blue color. Again, I come up through the center, wrap my needle around the thread twice, and insert it at the end of the line, keeping it tight until I've pulled it almost the whole way through. This ends up looking almost like a straight stitch with a French knot at the end, except that it's all one stitch. Very much like the French knot, it's just going down at a different location than where you came up. It's very important to keep the tension tight with your opposite hand until you have gone through the fabric most of the way with your knot. If you are a beginner and this just seems way too difficult, a great alternative would be to just make straight stitches for each of these petals, and then to go back through with your lighter color and do straight stitches that are just a little bit shorter in between all of your first stitches. Here I'm just doing shorter pistil stitches in between all of my first darker blue stitches. But a simple alternative would be definitely just to do straight stitches for each of these in just alternating colors, and that would look really great as well. This just seemed like a neat way to incorporate the pistil stitch into a design like this.